Greetings fellow Vita fans, this is James with PS Vita at 2 AM coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so this is a video I should have made probably a long time ago. Now one of the biggest questions I get asked on here is, what's going to happen to this channel when PlayStation Vita news is no more? As you know, despite the fact that we are still getting games, the PlayStation Vita has unfortunately been discontinued this year, with Western carts being halted in production as well. And even now we're hearing rumors that Asia's carts are dwindling too. So it's only a matter of time at this point before there is no more Vita news left to talk about. And as you know, this channel's main focus, or at least I would say 90% of it, is PlayStation Vita news. So yeah, that's a really fair question to ask. Some people have suggested, hey, why don't you start covering PlayStation 4 news? I mean, it is Sony after all. While I've had others say, hey, why don't you start covering the Nintendo Switch, as it has similarities to the PlayStation Vita. And I have taken many things into consideration here and figured it was about time I gave you an answer. And everyone, I am proud to announce that I have no intention of stopping PlayStation Vita content on this channel whatsoever. Yes, you heard me right. Now at this point you're probably asking yourself, well then, what are you planning to do? If there's no news, then what? And that will lead me to the next segment of this video, part 2. And that is with my next most frequently asked question, or should I say suggestion in this case. And that is, when you're gonna start doing PlayStation Vita reviews? Or maybe some top 10s, we'd like to see that too, I get a lot of people asking me. Now here I have a little bit of a confession to make. And that is, you could say I've been intentionally avoiding doing PlayStation Vita reviews and top 10s. Now let me explain here why, because there is a very important reason. And that is, I'm the type of individual that always likes to think ahead and plan for the future. Thus, when I started covering the PlayStation Vita a little over 2 years ago, I thought to myself, how would be the best way to prioritize things, as it were? And thus, to make a long story short, too late, I decided that it was best to prioritize PlayStation Vita news first, because someday that will go away and it's seasonal, topical, it only lasts for a short time. Whereas reviews, top 10s and the like, I can pretty much do those anytime. So the best way I figure to stretch my PlayStation Vita content as far as it will go, like a rubber band, it would be best to prioritize things in that manner. It's kind of the reason that I had abruptly stopped the PlayStation Vita import friendly game segment that I was making there for a while, because I want to save that segment for the second era of this channel, since there won't be any more PlayStation Vita news, and thus I'll need more newer segments to fill those slots in the schedule. And speaking of the schedule, let's talk about that. Part 3 of the video, the schedule. Now for those who have been with this channel for a little while, you might remember towards the beginning of this year I had made a thank you video and had mentioned that I am already coming up with ideas for the year 2020. And that was 100% true, everyone, because once PlayStation Vita news does end, I will be going back and reviewing all of your favorite PlayStation Vita games from the past, as well as making top 10s. Along with a few other surprises that I don't want to give away just right at the moment. And as of the time I'm making this video, I am just about nearing 500 physical PlayStation Vita games. One of my main goals that I'm setting for myself is that I want to be able to say that I have made a review video dedicated to every single one of these games on my shelf. Not just a top 10, or not just mentioning it in passing, although I will be doing videos like that too, but a 100% dedicated video to every one of these. Imports, of course, included. And as it stands now, that's a whopping 500 videos at least right there. And best of all, and this is something I don't really talk about very often on here, but I don't have any preferences when it comes to video game genres. Meaning I enjoy sports games, visual novels, action games, horror games, shooters, walking simulators. Heck, I even enjoyed that Proteus game, for goodness sake. That should show you how questionable my tastes in games can be. But what this means for us is the fact that I'm going to bring a little bit of something for everybody. So yeah, I ain't gonna be running out of content anytime soon on this channel. And if you thought that was it for the schedule, oh boy, there's more. Because here is a big question for everyone. How would you all feel about a once a week live stream on this channel? because I'm planning to choose one day out of the week, preferably probably a weekend when most people are at home, and do a 2 to 3 hour live stream just playing some PlayStation Vita games and hanging out with you guys. And I don't even have to just play one PlayStation Vita game. I could play up to like 2 or 3 in that allotted time. Maybe I could even do a poll and you guys could choose what upcoming games you'd like to see featured on the live stream. One of the reasons why I want to get into it is because I've watched other YouTubers do live streams and it seems like so much fun, because you get to interact with everybody right then and there live on the spot. And I also plan to have the camera right on me during those times. So off the top of my head, what I'm kind of thinking the schedule will be more or less, at least for the time being, and we can discuss this of course further in the comment section, is one day a week I'll do a review or a top 10, then later on in that week I'll do the sales videos, provided Sony's still giving us sales at that point, and then on the weekend I will do a 2 to 3 hour live stream playing random PlayStation Vita games. And I could also throw in like maybe I don't know, an Import Monday or something like that, a day where I just talk about nothing but imports. My main goal with all of this is, while my voiceover gameplay is fine for now, I really want to do as much as I can to evolve the channel as far as it'll go. I don't want to get comfortable just staying in one spot. I want to give you all as much variety as I possibly can, all while staying in the realm of the PlayStation Vita. Now on to my next topic here, and that's towards all of the people that were wanting PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch videos on this channel. Believe me guys, I am very humbled and honored that you would like to see content like that from me in the future, but quite frankly, I don't really feel like there's a need for it on YouTube anymore. I mean, you can just look up anything on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch and find tons upon tons of channels talking about those consoles. Heck, there's even some that are dedicated strictly to talking about them. Yet with the PlayStation Vita, there's little to anybody left. I remember back in the days when we used to have so many people, or at least a decent amount of people, talking about this little handheld in its heyday. And then it seems like as time has gone on, those channels have either moved on to other systems, or slowly starting to do so, or in worst case scenarios, not even uploading anymore. Thus, I guess you could say that I want to carry the torch for the PlayStation Vita into the future. Trying to say that as dramatically as I could. And I want to apologize to those people who are really looking forward to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch content on this channel. I hope I haven't disappointed too much guys, but I think you'll like what I have planned for the future. And now for my final segment of this video. Is there anything at all that would make this channel deviate from the PlayStation Vita in the future? I thought about it, and no, not really. The only case I could think of, and this is a very, very long shot here, is if the impossible happened and Sony actually did end up giving us a successor to the PlayStation Vita, or PSP, depending on how you look at it. At that point, I probably would like to cover that handheld as well, along with, of course, the PlayStation Vita. I want to keep it in the realm of Sony handhelds at the very least. But yeah, other than that though, it's going to be PlayStation Vita 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, or 364 days if it's leap year. You all came here for PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation Vita is what I'm going to deliver. Now, as far as all of the future content that I mentioned, I can't unfortunately give you an exact date of when it will happen. It really all just depends on Sony and the developers when they want to finish off Vita news. My best guess would be sometime in the year 2020, we'll see. But when that day comes, I'll be ready. The best is yet to come, and I am really excited about the future of this channel. You guys forever and always will be my favorite part about it, and I hope you all come along with me. We're gonna have some fun on here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below though. I would love nothing more than to hear your feedback on this. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. The following video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people, including Hero Acer, BMF, Phantom XRS, Adam Sondi, Ruben Gutierrez, Saul Ramirez, Dennis R. Huggins Jr., Joshua Williams, Kyle Brooks, Richard Cruz, Jared Haddo, JR, E-Rock, Kevin Enright, Mario Cruz, Heston Joseph, Pierre Sterner, Adam Thury, Aaron Swanson, Rodrigo Vera, Sculpture Tugul, CCG, Matt Fox, Reiko Star, and Mango Man. If you yourself would be interested in supporting the channel, check the links down in the description below. I have various ways for you to do so down there. And give me credit here, everyone. I made it through the entire video without posting that Squidward meme talking about the future. I guess there's hope for me yet, right?